And that's what we're going to sort of want. We want to see the chunks in there. For this, we're going to break them down till, like I said, they're pieces about the size of peas or so. And that will give us our flaky texture. So I'm just going to chop around. I'm using the round side of my scraper so it fits nicely into the bottom of the bowl. We don't want to use a metal scraper for this because it just pretty much dings the bowl as we go around. We want the round scraper so it fits in against the bowl. If you're using the round scraper for something else, like picking up butter off a board or something, then you want to use the flat side so it fits flat against there, the round side in your bowl. And just seek out your slightly larger pieces as you go. See, most of my pieces are down to that sort of pea size already. All right. Some of these are a little larger, so I'm just going to go a few more minutes and get them a fairly uniform size. Don't try to get every piece the same size so you make yourself crazy. Just get the majority of your pieces down to that basic piece size. And notice I'm doing this fairly quickly because I want to get this done before my butter starts softening and melting and letting it absorb into the flour, which we don't want to do. All right. And that's the texture we're pretty much looking for, okay? All right? The bigger they are, the flakier it will be. Now remember, they're going to get mixed down a little bit more as you do your mixing, all right? So again, fairly big chunks will give you a flakier. So for a pie dough, I would stay with a fairly larger chunk. But we're looking at mostly this size for our biscuits. All right? And again, I'm just going to check through to see if I have any larger chunks, just to get those.
Does cutting it like this affect the gluten and stuff also? Like this kind of movement, does it affect?
Good question. No, it doesn't yet, because a gluten doesn't start to form until it starts absorbing liquid.
Okay. So
and that's another reason we don't want it absorbing any of the moisture, because remember that butter is not 100% fat. It's a part water. So for that same reason, exactly, if we don't have water in the gluten yet, we're totally safe. And that's why sifting, blending, all that kind of thing does not affect your gluten until the liquid goes in. Good point. All right. So I think we're pretty uniform at that size. It's about our biggest size piece. That'll be fine. At this point, we put our cheese in. And again, with the cheese, don't put it in a lump. Make sure it's all nice and separated so it disperses nicely through your batter. And we'll put a little hole in the center, and we'll drop all our liquid in at one time. And again, we always want to make sure we have every bit of all our ingredients.
Is that milk or buttermilk?
It is milk and cream mixed together. All right, and then we're using this. I'm just going to do it like this, and just push it together into a dough. Try to avoid getting in there with your fingers like this. For one thing, it kneads the dough more than we want to, and you end up with more dough on your hands than you do in the bowl. As you can see, doing it this way, it keeps your hands fairly clean. Now we just keep pushing it together until all the liquid is absorbed and we have an actual dough. Now it's starting to look to me like we don't have enough liquid in here. And what happens is the storeroom apparently recently changed the brand of flour that we're using, and different types of flour will absorb liquids at a different rate. So if you're using a recipe all the time and you change flours, it could somewhat change the recipe. And it looks like this has happened here. So I'm just going to take this, and again, as I'm pushing it together, not with my fingers like this, but just with closed hands, to just mash it together into a dough. And I think we're going to need a little bit more water. So when we adjust our recipes, I'm going to ask everybody to add an additional ½ cup of water to the recipe. Excuse me, of milk or cream. Excuse me, not using water in this. But it's more convenient. So we just give me 1/2 of a line of water in there, cold water. And we're just going to add a little bit more to this.
So at this point, you want to not overmix it because you added water. So we'll develop.
We're not going to add water. We're just going to add more milk.